Hey everybody, waitingfornextyear.com podcast. It's been a little while since I've talked to you, but we are back. It is finally here. The NFL draft is this week on Thursday. But before we get to the draft picks, let me tell you where we're going to be for the draft and where you should be too. We are going to be at the Map Room on West 9th in Cleveland. I will probably get there around 7:30. The picks are supposed to start around 8. So the Browns will be on the clock at 8 o'clock and they will be making their selections. We will be eating pizza, drinking way too much alcohol because that's what we do on draft night. That's what I do on draft night. You can do it with us. So come on out to the Map Room. It's on West 9th. I think it's actually next to Adult Mart, which is really funny. So if you really feel like it, you can hit Adult Mart after the draft is over. I will not be hitting Adult Mart after the draft is over, but it's right next door. So anyway, that's the story for draft this Thursday. Please come on out. It'll be a really good time. They have great pizza. It's also the location for the Cleveland Frowns draft party. We're so lazy in terms of creating draft parties that we just kind of glommed onto that one. And I created a Facebook event, and all of a sudden the Waiting for Next Year draft party is happening at a place that I didn't talk to any of the management or ownership ahead of time. We're just going to go show up and take advantage of something that's been going on for 8 years strong. This will be the 8th year of the NFL draft party at the Map Room. So come on out, it'll be fun. Now the draft itself. So Peter King's Monday Morning Quarterback came out today, and it seems like the Browns are not going to pull the trigger on Josh Allen, at least according to that. It seems like it's going to be Sam Darnold at number 1, and then the Browns will have to figure out what to do at number 4. I tell you all the time that I know what I don't know when it comes to scouting NFL quarterbacks. I'm not an expert. I can't tell you if a guy's footwork needs work or if his release is too slow or too long or anything like that. But I will say that I'm believing what I'm reading from all the detractors of Josh Allen, and that pick really makes me nervous. At the same time, I do think the Browns finally have the right setup and the right process for welcoming a rookie quarterback, whether it's Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, or anybody. It's up to the Browns to figure out how to get the most out of a guy and turn him into the best prospect he can possibly become. And the key to doing that is having at least 1 year and maybe 2 of Tyrod Taylor starting and keeping that rookie off the field. Now, if it's Josh Allen, maybe that ceiling is really, really high, but you're really kind of depending on his ability to take his physical measurables and make it translate into football measurables to a degree that we've already seen some of the other prospects do. Now, Sam Darnold hasn't had a ton of on-field success as a college player. He had way too many turnovers, and USC he didn't actually exactly make them national title contenders. And that's why, one of the reasons why I think I like Baker Mayfield so much. I am tantalized by his on-field success. I think he plays with a certain amount of competitiveness and fire that I think that it overshadows maybe the 1 or 2 inches short he is, or the 5 yards of arm strength he doesn't have. I think, would it really shock any of you if 10 years from now, Baker Mayfield had the best NFL career out of all the prospects? Would that shock anybody? It wouldn't really shock me. Same with Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen is a guy that people seem very scared of for all the wrong reasons. Maybe they're the right reasons. Maybe he is too risky because he's headstrong and immature, or not immature, but headstrong and opinionated. Maybe those are legit concerns, but they're not exactly football concerns. If those things are not an issue, maybe Josh Rosen is actually the best quarterback prospect from a pure quarterback perspective. Maybe he molds all the competitive fire and the upward momentum in terms of physical attributes. It's just weird. You know, we only can know so much, but it seems like the consensus that I'm seeing around Twitter and the circles that I run in is no to Josh Allen. So at this point, I guess, if it's Sam Darnold, I'll be happy. If it's Josh Rosen, I'll be fine. If it's Baker Mayfield, I'll be happy. If it's Josh Allen, I'll find a way to talk myself into it. I'll be thankful that the Browns have 1 year of Tyrod Taylor and hopefully more. But I'll be nervous. Which brings us to the number 4 pick. We have no idea how the board's going to fall, who's going to go where, what's going to happen. But I'm firmly in the camp, regardless of who ends up being available there, that I do not want the Cleveland Browns to trade out of number 4. I realize that there could be a small fortune of picks, 2 first-rounders, additional picks like second-rounders. I think those things could come to fruition and be available to the Browns at number 4, depending on how the draft board falls. I'm not interested. At a certain point, you go as many years as the Browns have trading down. And yes, you can't hold all those trade downs from Mike Holmgren through. You can't hold them against John Dorsey. But at the same time, the team that he inherited is the result of how many trade downs over the years, and not just picking the best players at the top of the draft, but trying to amass more picks and trying to increase your odds by increasing your chances. Well, maybe you should just increase your odds by picking as high as possible and taking the most complete possible prospects. That's what I want the Browns to do. I've seen them trade down, and yes, it's even more tantalizing than ever because the Browns have 2 picks in the top 5. They're going to get their first pick overall. So maybe trading down is the smart move, but I don't want to see it. The other smart move is just taking Chubb or Barkley or whichever player you decide to pick there that is actually worthy of being drafted number 4 overall. Because the only thing better than having 3 more picks is having a player that's so good that they were worthy of being drafted number 4 overall. Enough with the trade downs. I talked myself into the Browns trade down last year where they ended up with Jabril Peppers and then they traded back in to get Njoku, and I talked myself into it, but who's to say the Browns wouldn't have been better off if they hadn't just stayed put and drafted whoever was available further up the draft? I mean, it's pretty easy to say that anything the Browns would have done would have been better than what they did because they went 0-16. But I'm done with the trade now. We've done it too often. Someday we can do it again. But now, as Browns fans, we put in our time. We deserve to watch the team draft a player at number 4. We deserve for them to have 2 top 5 picks, because we have gone through 1-31, 0-16 in an entire season. So stop with the trade downs. No trade downs. That's where I'm standing. Tell me where you stand. I need some feedback. Let me know how you're feeling. We're going to have a lot more podcasts this week about the draft, probably also about the Cavaliers. They're 2-2 tied against the Pacers. So check back in. We'll be here doing more on the podcast. It was a nice little vacation for me. I'll also probably be getting back together with Ben Axelrod here soon on the podcast, which has been a lot of fun, but since spring break, it's been nice to have a little bit of time off. So, and you know, what better time of year? It's still cold. The Indians aren't in like full swing. The Cavaliers are now finally in the playoffs, so it's a good time to come back. The NFL draft and we will. We're coming back. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. It's been the waitingfornextyear.com podcast.